Have you ever thought about the enigmatic figure who shaped the history of China? China wasn't always one of the powerful nations in the world as it is today. So who made all these sweeping reforms to make China one of the remarkably strong and unified nations? Who protected the land from menacing enemies around the world, with the beginning of the architectural marvel, the Great Wall of China and the awe-inspiring Terracotta Army? Well, it was none other than Qin Shi Huangdi, the first emperor of China, a vulnerable prince who became a mighty ruler. But despite his notable accomplishments, Qin Shi is famed as one of the most brutal and eccentric rulers of all times. He had a strange obsession with immortality and afterlife. Was he able to conquer death and discover the islands of immortals? Let's find out by taking a closer look at his peculiar life that left an indelible mark on history. Rise to power. One of the first thoughts that pops in our heads is, how did a young and vulnerable child rise to power? About 2 millennia ago, in 259 BC, a young boy named Ying was born to King Zhuangxiang and Lady Zhao. He was only 13 years old when King Zhuangxiang died after a short reign of 3 years. Despite his young age, he ascended to the throne as the King of Qin, with the help and support of his mother and Lu Bui, who managed the government until Yingzheng turned 22 and took full control of Qin. Soon after assuming authority, the king set out on the mission to unify China and conquer the rest of the 6 states. Successful missions. One after the other, Ying conquered all the states, including Han, Zhao, Weir, Chu, Yan, and Qi, and expanded his authority. After a series of successful expeditions, the king finally assumed authority over a united China by 221 BC. Once he took control of all these states, King Yingzheng changed his name to Shi Huang, which means first emperor, and declared himself the first emperor of China. Notable reforms and accomplishments. As the first emperor, Shi Huang made some groundbreaking reforms. One might wonder, how did the emperor maintain his control throughout the 6 enormous states? Well, Shi Huang was an incredible strategist. He reorganized his government and broke it into various administrative units. He divided the land into 36 command areas, which were governed by a military commander, governor, and an imperial inspector who reported to the emperor. He also relocated thousands of families to the capital so that he could keep a vigilant eye on them. He confiscated all the weapons and melted them down. Not only this, the emperor also imposed the use of a common currency, standardized ways of writing, and units of measurement. If you think this was it, you are not quite right. Even the axles and chariots were standardized so that the travelers could access any road. All these reforms helped the conquered states to remain under his strict authority and control. So there was no way these states could think of themselves as independent states. Luxurious building projects. Shi Huangdi also shifted his focus towards building the infrastructure of China. He constructed a massive network of roads and canals to promote trade activities and travel. The emperor built thousands of magnificent palaces in his capital for his family, concubines, and servants. Perhaps one of the most crucial projects during the Shi Huangdi's reign was the robust defensive system against the northern invaders. The emperor ordered the destruction of numerous state walls to prevent the resurgence of feudal lords. Instead, he ordered construction of new walls that connected his northern frontier. Thousands of men toiled to construct border defenses along the Yellow River, which extended over 3,000 miles. This was the project which laid the foundation of the Great Wall of China. Self-proclaimed divine ruler, the rising power and control of the emperor made him even more harsh and ruthless. He abolished all religions and encouraged that the whole empire remained obedient to his will. Many believe his new name was also inspired by the cosmic rulers of Chinese mythology. He even rejected some of the popular philosophies such as Confucianism and Taoism that had gained a massive following during the Warring period. Many historians claim that the emperor rounded up and executed over 460 scholars to silence any contrasting views. Any text that was used to criticize the government was burnt. He followed the philosophy of legalism, which advocated strict laws, punishments, and a central authority to maintain control over the state. His legalist principles made Shurqin an extremely unpopular and controversial emperor. Now it is quite understandable why his brutal actions attracted many enemies, who made many assassination attempts to end his harsh reign. Pursuit of immortality and quest for the Island of Immortals. It is quite ironic that Qin Shui's obsession with immortality and pursuit to find the magic potion to live forever resulted in his early death at the age of 49. As he grew in power, the emperor became more and more insecure about his life due to multiple assassination attempts. He was extremely fascinated by the idea of immortality and afterlife. He even sent expeditions towards the East Sea of China to discover the Island of Immortals in order to find herbs and potions to bring him immortality. In his attempt to live and rule his state forever, the emperor reportedly consumed various elixirs and potions. Despite his efforts, Qin Shi Huang couldn't escape the inevitability of death. During his 5th tour to East China, the emperor died at the age of 49 in 210 BC. Although the exact cause of death remains unknown, many believe the emperor was poisoned by an elixir which contained mercury. Odd events after death. The events that followed after the death of the emperor were as bizarre as his whole life. Since his loyal prime minister, Li Si, feared that the news of the emperor's untimely death could trigger a massive uprising. Therefore, he decided to keep his death a secret for over 2 months until they traveled back to the capital city. Only a few members, including the younger sons of the emperor and some loyal servants, were informed. In order to deceive the public that the emperor was still alive, they hid him under the wagon's shade. Li Si also ordered carts of rotten fish to be carried behind and after his wagon during their journey to the capital, so that no one could smell the foul odor of his decomposing dead body. The officials used to change his clothes regularly, bring him food and relay his messages to the public as if he was alive. Once they reached the capital city, his death was finally announced. The delay in the announcement of death allowed all the officials to prepare for a smooth transition of power without triggering any kind of uprising from the public during their long journey back to the capital. Secret tomb of the emperor. It is evident that the emperor failed to conquer death and live forever to rule his country. However, Qin Shi had grand plans for his life after death. During his lifetime, he ordered over 700,000 laborers to construct a tomb as large as the size of a city, which was further protected by an army of around 8,000 terracotta warriors, horses and chariots. His enormous tomb is guarded by rivers of mercury. After the burial rites of the emperor, the inner tunnels and the main gate of the tomb was shut. Historians suggest thousands of artisans were trapped inside the tomb so that the mechanical trapping and the treasures that lie beneath the tomb remain a secret forever. Plants and trees were also planted on the top of the tomb to give it an appearance of a hill. However, the tomb was rediscovered during the 20th century when a group of farmers were drilling wells in Lintong County. These farmers unearthed a terracotta warrior from inside the ground. Over 2,000 terracotta warriors have been rediscovered, but it is believed that over 6,000 to 8,000 warriors were buried along with the emperor. Will the Chinese government ever unravel the mystery that lies within the tomb? Can we make technical advances to reach the tomb? Has it been discovered or robbed before? What secrets and mysteries lie underneath the emperor's tomb? All these questions remain unanswered. It is rather uncertain that Qin Shui's tomb and his secrets will be exposed anytime soon. But we bet that the emperor sure has a dozen of secrets. There we have it, the captivating yet quite a peculiar tale of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huangdi. It is true that his life was marred with controversies, but there is no denying that the emperor's impact on Chinese history was profound. On that note, we are wrapping up today's video. If you enjoyed the historical voyage, give this video a thumbs up. We would live to hear your valuable thoughts on our video in the comment section below. Don't forget to share our videos with your friends and family who are history enthusiasts and would enjoy the Emperor's captivating tale. To keep an eye on the daily dose of fascinating historical facts and happenings around the world, smash the subscribe button. We will see you soon with another interesting video.